And this is the current state walking into bench press. What the hell is going on in here? Do any of you have this problem when you're trying to bench press? What the? Okay, everybody out. Come on. Out, everybody out. Oh, you're gonna jump? You gonna jump? Out. And now that we got most of the animals out and they are currently making their way back in, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up quick before they shit all over the bench press floor and I have to clean it again. So officially 67 days out. This is day 1 of week 3, my heavy bench press push day. And we're starting off with a PR of 405, 6 sets of 2 with a mid grip. And this will be the heaviest that I've ever done in this variation. As a matter of fact, 405 for 2 reps is the most I've ever done in any bench press variation. And this is normally how I like to trend in a 4-block, 3-week format. So every 3 weeks, at the 3rd week, I should be positioning myself towards some sort of PR, whether it be a variation or just the competition main lift. And we will be doing that today as soon as I get all of these animals out of here again. And that being my last warm-up at 385, we are now ready for my working sets at 405. 6 sets of 2. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little bit nervous for this set here. Being the heaviest double I've ever done, now doing it in a mid-grip variation. But that's exactly where I want to be at the end of a block. At week 3, I should be pushing weights that I'm not absolutely certain that I can move. I need to be in a place where I have to focus, where I have to put the effort, where I have to have the intensity to complete the lift. This is not the week to where I should be at any low amount of RPE. This should require a maximal effort attempt, and that's exactly what I'm about to give it. Let's go. Power. Ah! And as you can see, the weight's behind me sitting on the safeties. You should be able to tell that I did not, in fact, complete my 6 sets of 2. Actually, I failed the 2nd rep on only the 2nd set. So that doesn't mean we stop and quit. We are going to keep moving forward. I'm just going to adjust the sets and reps for today. And I'm not going to waste a bunch of time unloading the bar to reload it when we can just deadlift it up there. Now, one of the things that I try to get across to people is failing a lift is not the end of the world. It's not even the end of the day. As I like to use the term fail forward. So as long as you have a plan in place for movement and progression throughout your training, then you're never really failing. You're just moving on to the next thing. And for me, I already had in plan, after hopefully completing, which did not happen, this 6 sets of 2, my next block would move on to, again, 6 sets of 2, but this time using a bench block, more specifically, 2 board. So instead of just trying to come up with something new, I'm just going to move on to what I would have been doing next week and finish out my 5 remaining sets, because I did not complete the previous one, so I'm not counting that. I have 1 set complete. I am just going to continue on with my training today, but moved to the blocks today at the same weight that I was planning to do full range of motion. And that's how I like to progress, failing forward. And now just continuing on, this will be my second set. The only thing that changed is adding on the bench block for a 2-board press, but I will remain using the mid grip, and I still have 5 more sets to do today at the same weight of 405. Just like I said, we fail forward. The train does not stop. And now we've survived just barely, making it through my 6 sets of 2, finishing up the last 5 sets with the 2-board press. Moving on to the work that counts, where we spend most of our effort in training in our secondary movements and accessories. Beginning here, of course, for me on this day with the incline Smith machine press. And about 2 seconds ago, I just watched one of the chickens poke one of the goats directly in the butthole. And I'm going to try and attack this set with the ferocity of that goat when she turned around and seen that chicken there, standing there like nothing happened. And also, I'm moving forward with, even though I failed my second set, the first set was still an all-time best. PR, personal record. This, getting 2 sets of 6, which I know I'm about to succeed at, will also be a PR. My next movement after that will also be a PR. And moving forward, basically all of the movements today will. And this is how I design my programs using progressive overload. So each week, even if I'm failing forward in some movements, and in others, I'm still hitting continuous personal records on everything that I do. So whether I fail my first movement or my second one, I'm still going to hit personal records somewhere in a training session, literally every single week and every single session. Like I said, PR, every fucking workout. And really just continuing on with that same theme. Today is the first day back on this machine that I'm at full stack plus weight. Since I've swapped from using the bent elbow position to now the straight arm position. Using this position, I was well over the stack plus weight, whatever it was. I think it was about 20 pounds. And when I transitioned to the straight arm, I had to drop it back down to several plates below full stack. I've now, once again, progressively overloaded my way back to where I am now. And when I first started doing these JM presses on this Smith machine, I was using a reverse band, a band hooked from here to the top to reduce the weight at the bottom, helping me at the hardest part of the lift. And I got all the way up to, I believe, 375 with the reverse band. I then dropped all the way back down to whatever the weight was, under 300. And today, I'm all the way back up to 340 with no band. Once again, proving the exact same method that I used on my bench, the same method that I used on my incline, the same method I used on the pec deck, and the same method that I use throughout basically all of my training. It is pushing the limits until you reach a point of failure, failing forward, and then moving to another variation and building all the way back up. This has allowed me to literally set records, personal records, for years on end, and continuing the progress. Oh, that was close. Luna. And I'm going to go ahead and skip the last two exercises I had today. Those being the suitcase shrugs and the heavy weighted planked out sit-ups. Both of those will drive a ton of fatigue on areas that I need heavily tomorrow. Tomorrow is the third week deadlift for me. It's the heavy single, and I need to drive as much energy to completing that heavy single as possible, as it is a defining moment of where my deadlift will be going for the following weeks. So I'm going to pull back today, save the energy on those muscle groups so I can put as much energy as tomorrow, as that will be a little bit more important than these last two. Having a plan for being successful as well as having a plan for being unsuccessful are equally important. And I would actually say that having a plan while being unsuccessful could rival and be more important. As long as I'm doing something to progress, I don't really see it as a true failure. I see it as just another point along the path. And if I zoom out and look at everything from a macro view, I can see that I'm always trending up, even though I have slight pullbacks from time to time. So as long as I'm failing forward, I'm continuing to get better, and I will reach my goal, whatever the path may be. Overall, even though I failed the main movement of the day, I am counting today is a highly successful day, as every movement thereafter was a personal record. Ideally, I will drive with the same momentum tomorrow, just pushing for more personal records along the way and continue to drive towards the end goal.